This week on 4Drive TV, we continue our coverage of the ARB Eldee Easter event. We have tech tips on tyres, compressed air and diesel conditioners, all that and plenty more. I'm Simon Christie. I hope you enjoy it.
Tread lightly, keep it safe, play hard.
The second stage I ran was the HEMA Outback Navigation Challenge. That event involved teams getting given a map with certain coordinates on there. They had to then go out, work out the coordinates, find certain clues, write them down, and also along the way they had 49 separate questions they had to answer. Each of those obviously had points attached to them, which accumulated their total for the end of the day.
Have minimal arguments, we're trying to anyway. Technology.
Simon sets this stage mainly just to teach people how to read a map, how to read coordinates. You certainly don't need a GPS to be able to do the course, but it's great to be able to learn to navigate in these areas with and without a GPS. And again, it's a great family fun stage. The kids get to sit in the back, they can help answer some of the questions, hop out the car, go looking for some of the clues. Yeah, it's certainly a great stage. They had a lot of fun.
A big part of every Eldee Easter event is the Kiddies Eldee Easter Egg Hunt. This year the event was Special Stage 12 and as usual was the first event for Sunday morning. Run just for the children, the Easter Egg Hunt, just like the Innerwise Trivia Night, does not provide any stage points and is just a fun addition to the event. Held back in the creek where the Saturday morning stages were located and just a few minutes from the main buildings and camp areas, the Eldee Easter Egg Hunt provides an impressive sight as almost 50 excited mini four-wheel drivers go head to head in the search for handfuls of well-deserved Easter chocolate.
Sunday was a great day. It ran a little bit differently to the Saturday. On the Saturday, we had the competitors put into groups and then go through and tackle the various stages, whereas on the Sunday, everyone travelled together for the whole day. We kicked off with a great event that we ran over near the shearing sheds, where we basically had cars driving through the yards and having to open and shut gates as part of the course. And we also had cars competing side by side together, so it certainly introduces that additional competitive element when you've obviously got somebody right next to you trying to beat you. So again, an awful lot of fun and a good example of an event where kids can get involved and just generally have a great time.
Due to the enormous crowd insistence, Simon and myself decided to have a shootout in the challenge at Sheepyard Shenanigans. We got into our vehicles and off we took. It was neck and neck all the way to the through till we got to the very last gate, where miraculously, how we don't know what happened, but the last gate happened to disappear for the Colorado, giving the Colorado the win. But by sheer numbers, we do believe that the Kmart car did win. We'll come back next year, we'll try and have another go. Last year, Kyle, he fell over, but this year, the gate disappeared for Simon. We'll never know what will happen.
Hi, I'm Brad Smith from Mickey Thompson Tyres. One of the most common topics with four-wheel drivers about four-wheel drive tyres is clearly tyre pressure. Everybody's got a different opinion. I've got the Mickey Thompson Tyre Tips guide here today. and I'm going to talk to you specifically about some of the different applications and what tyre pressures may be required. For driving on bitumen, 32 to 38 psi is always a good pressure for standard size tyres. Just keep in mind, higher pressures may be required when carrying heavy loads. For sand driving, 18 to 26 psi is a good range to stay inside. Of course, you need to factor in the density and the coarseness of the sand, and the fluffier or softer the sand, the lower the pressure you may need to go to. And of course, you should always remember, when you're lowering your tyre pressure to drive in sand, you also need to bring your speed down to avoid rolling tyres off the rim if you happen to turn sharply. Smooth gravel roads, 32 to 36 psi should be an ideal pressure. Too low on a surface like this, and you could lose good steering response and stability, especially if you're driving too fast. Higher pressures may be required if you're carrying heavy loads, and when driving over corrugated roads, you should reduce your speed as the heat builds up very quickly on that style of surface. Rough gravel, 26 to 32 psi is always a good pressure range. However, you should always consider how slow, how rough and what load you've got on board, keeping in mind that the higher the speed, the more heat's generated in the tyre. On a surface like this, tyre pressure can be crucial because you really need to ensure that you minimise any chipping that you may get. Rocky gravel and rock driving, 22 to 28 psi is a good pressure range. Again, it's important to keep your speed down because you've got lower pressure in the tyre, and of course the lower pressure will give the tyre more malleability to be able to get over or flex around any big rocks or sharp rocks and hopefully avoid any damage to your tyres. Remember, once you're through those areas and you start moving at a faster pace, it's very important that you bring your pressure back up so that you don't overheat the tyres or cause damage to them. For mud driving, the ideal pressures really are 22 to 28 psi. And again, this depends on a lot of variables like the sort of mud that you're driving through, the steepness of the slope, and what sort of base you have under the mud. Just always keep in mind, if it's thick mud with a loose, deep base, lower pressures and less wheel spin is best, but you really need to maintain the momentum. If the mud is watery and has a solid base, you can maintain higher pressures, but again, the emphasis has got to be on maintaining momentum to keep moving through that surface. If you look closely at the side of your tyre, you'll notice it actually has a maximum pressure written on the sidewall. We'd very rarely recommend running to that pressure. If you run at the maximum pressure of the tyre, what you'll find is it runs very rough, gives you a hard ride, and could increase the chances of damage to your tyre. That's an overview on different tyre pressures for different applications. If you're looking for specific information about your tyres, you should always consult your local tyre expert, and they can give you the information that's relevant to you and the driving that you do. Thanks for joining me for this week's Mickey Thompson Tyre Tip.
Holden's toughest 4x4 ever has arrived. Introducing the all-new Holden Colorado 7. It comes with 7 seats as standard and it's loaded with serious off-road grunt. You'll get 3-ton towing and the awesome 470 Newton-metre Duramax diesel engine, plus an impressive wading depth and hill descent control, all for the hardcore adventurer. The all-new Holden Colorado 7 is here. Take it off-road at your Holden dealer today.
30-second kitchen, a kitchen in 30 seconds. Fridge slide first. Fridge slide's got 130 kilo tracks in it, so it's nice and tough. Remove the R-clip, don't lose it. Drop the pin, leg locker. Kitchen now. Lock kitchen down here. Retrieve the R-clip. Lock on here, R-clip in. Leg here, pull them together. Stove, billy. How good's that, guys? Couldn't ask for quicker.
I'm Chris Weston, off-road racer and owner of Off-Road Rush, and I wouldn't race on anything else than my Mickey Thompson tyres. I trust my Mickey Thompsons at high speed. They can handle wet or dry without any trouble. And that means I can keep racing while the competitors stop to change tyres. Mickey Thompson? No wonder they call them legendary.
Call 1300-MICKEY for your nearest dealer.
G'day guys, Lee here from Compressed Air Systems Australia. I'm down here today with Simon's 40. We're going to have a look at installing some compressed air. There's several accessories that are going to need to be plumbed up, so we're going to make sure we need to do it right, using the right quality fittings, the right size airlines to get the job done properly. It is important when you're installing compressed air systems to use quality fittings, quality hoses, especially when dealing with four-wheel drive stuff. We want to be using quality nylon tube, quality high-flow stainless steel fittings. The 40's got a compressor mounted at the rear of the vehicle. We've got lines running to 2 diff lockers. We've got air horn up the front, which needs a dedicated line. We've also got an under-vehicle mounted tank, which we're going to be running a direct line to an air fitting at the front of the vehicle for pumping up tyres. When we're installing compressed air fittings, particularly to four-wheel drives, it is important to know what you're doing. We want to be using the right parts, the right size hoses and the right quality fittings. The compressor that Simon's got for the 40 is twin motor with quite a high output. It's important to use the right size air hose when you're dealing with large output compressors. We want to make sure that we're utilising the maximum flow. We don't want to be using small 6mm line. Pumping up tyres, we want to make sure that we've got the right size hose to get the maximum flow we can to get these tyres pumped up. Simon's also thinking about running some air tools from time to time, so it's important to make sure that we've got the flow to run any sort of air tools that he wants to run out in the bush. It's also important when fitting four-wheel drives that we put some thought into where we're running airlines and putting air fittings. In the 40, we're going to try and run most of the airlines in the chassis rails. Keeps them out of the elements, away from hot exhausts, away from rocks and things that can possibly damage them. The last thing we want is air leaks, particularly with diff locks and things. If you're after any more information on what we've done today, what we've done on the 40, airlines, air fittings, compressors, flick Simon an email and he'll put you on to me. That's it for Simon's 40. We've got the compressed air system up and running, so you can test it out now out in the tracks.
Final competition for day on Sunday was the RFI All-Terrain Challenge. And wow, wasn't that hugely different from the last couple of years. This year it really offered the competitors some sand driving, some fantastic issues through the water there with a spectacular finish. Not a really long stage, but a really good fast stage, and everyone had a really good time. We were able to see some great sand driving, over through a little bit of rock area there, but the off camber onto the side, pushing the driver down, and then back into the water, and a big finish. And again, it showed that everyone had a fantastic time, and everybody's four-wheel drive. If you have a look at some of the four-wheel drives that have been doing the stuff this weekend, they're not highly modified. They're your everyday four-wheel drive with a bit of suspension, some aftermarket tyres and some accessories on them, all having a really good time. That's what the Eldee Easter in the Outback family event is all about, is coming up here with your standard four-wheel drive, bring your kids, bring your camper trailers, bring your tent, and have a fantastic weekend at Eldee Station.
Terrific little course that, again, everyone got through without any dramas whatsoever. You know, some big differences in times, as you would expect with those style of events. And again, it's what this event is all about. Test your four-wheel driving skills on your vehicle and also see some of the stunning scenery in the barrier ranges, and particularly here at Eldee Station.
Hi, I'm Davin Jones from the Hobbyman, and here at Eldee Station for Easter 2013, we ran the Hobbyman Traxxas Summit Challenge. The challenge was broken up into 3 age groups, up to 8, 9 to 15 and 16 and above. Great prizes for each age group, and of course the adults tend to get a little bit competitive as well, with everybody clock watching. It was great fun and everybody had a ball. Challenging, tricky stage with some rock climbing, some log jumping, fast sections and slow sections, so it was good. It showed all the capabilities of the Traxxas Summit.
1, go!
So all you RC four-wheel drive fans, it's a great weekend here at Eldee for Easter. We'll be here again next year. Make sure you are too.
The amount of prizes were outstanding. I don't think I've ever been to an off-road event and seen so many prizes and such a high prize pool. I guess that's a reflection on the value that the sponsors see in this event, that it really is, it's a grassroots event. It's aimed at anyone who likes to get out and enjoy themselves in their four-wheel drive. Very broad appeal. I think that's reflected in the calibre of the sponsors, and ARB certainly will support this event again in 2014, and I'll be back again. We've had a fantastic time this weekend. Presentation night was just awesome. We had everyone here in the dining room at Eldee Station, and there was over $20,000 in prizes to give out, and absolutely everybody left here with a prize. It was fantastic to see all the smiling faces on everyone. I think it's probably the first event that I've ever been to where there hasn't been some sort of issues. The event was brilliantly run. It was really an event that ticked all the boxes.
Hi, I'm Dave from Responsive Engineering. Today I'm going to talk about fuel additives used in common rail vehicles. Fuel additives can be very important because we're now using low sulphur diesel, which has less lubricity than conventional diesel. One misconception is that everything that we see in a common rail vehicle in the fuel filters that's black is algae. In fact, a lot of this is bituminous products from the fuel. This once again comes back to our lubrication issues. Responsive Engineering has developed a fuel additive. It's based on a lubricant to help lubricate the system, a light biocide and a stabiliser. You'd use this lubricant additive in common rail vehicles. It coats the components in common rail and helps resist rust or corrosion. Adding this to the fuel system, you'll notice it runs smoother and quieter. It can even improve our fuel economy. Quite a safe product to use in common rail, predominantly containing a lubricant, a stabiliser and a light biocide to ward off algae. You only need to add 10 mils per 80 litres of diesel fuel. You simply add it each time you fill up. Designed here so we can add this quite easily at the service station. It's that simple to use. We've developed this fuel additive because we know the need of lubricant with the modern common rail fuel systems, and to have a product that we know and understand. There are a lot of fuel additives on the market, and sometimes they don't meet their claims, and other times they've also got chemicals in it which are not that suitable for common rail. So we developed Responsive Additive so that we know exactly what's in the product and it's harmless to the components. Responsive Fuel Additive was designed in Australia, utilising the knowledge gained from our associate company Kuma Diesel Service after many years of repair on common rail. I'm Dave from Responsive Engineering. If you need any more information, just follow the links on the 4-Wheel Drive TV website.
The next generation of shock absorbers is here. Leading the way in 4x4 suspension development, Old Man Emu introduces the most advanced and finely tuned shock absorber on the market. Nitro Charger Sport incorporates a new valving system that instantly adapts to all terrain for an outstanding smooth ride and phenomenal control. Backed by a 3-year, 60,000-kilometre warranty, you can trust Nitro Charger Sport, built in Australia for Australian conditions.
With nearly 100 years experience in designing and manufacturing heavy-duty filtration, Donaldson is one of the most trusted brands in the market, and our filters meet or exceed OEM specification. Originally developed for 4-wheel drives on mine sites, Donaldson's range of 4-wheel drive filters will perform in even the toughest environment, giving you peace of mind that you are buying the best and the most reliable filter for your vehicle, and backed by a full manufacturer's warranty. Donaldson, tough filters for tough environments. When you need your manual gearbox rebuilt, don't start in reverse. Get it geared up right the first time with the team from 360 Gearboxes. As Australia's premium gearbox and diff specialist, 360 use the world's best gears, shafts, bearings and seals. 360 offer a guaranteed and quality changeover and A1 customer service. If your manual is grinding, crunching, sticking or blowing, demand the best. 360 Gearboxes, a fast, reliable and high quality rebuild. For more info, visit 360gearboxesdiffs.com.au.
G'day, my name's George Mesk and this is my rig, 1996 Tyre Prado V6. Got a whole bunch of modifications on it. I've got a lift on it, drawers, second battery, diff locks, snorkel, far too many things to keep going. Good Bridgestone tyres on it. I mainly use it for just playing around on the weekends and doing touring. Do a lot of Fraser Island and recently did a Burke and Wills 150th anniversary of their passing, which was quite a great trip. Also do a lot of tag-along trips as well. I don't know if I'll do any more to it, possibly in the years to come. I'll upgrade it to a 100 series cruiser or something a bit more modern. But at the moment she's a good truck, she's got low mileage and does a great job. I've got a whole bunch of recovery gear on board. One of the gear I've got is the tread boards, which I've originally purchased. Hopefully that'll come in handy one day when I get myself started.
Announcements on the next Your Rig trip and how you could be the weekly rig will be made shortly. And this week's Your Rig has won. An electric blue span set snatch strap, a Super Mini Booster 12 volt 180 amp hour jump starter, a full drive road atlas thanks to HEMA, plus a massive HEMA map of Australia, a comprehensive Holden 4x4 recovery kit, an ARB jacket, a can of ARB emergency survival socks, an ARB Ariel stuffed toy, an ARB Forby, a drink bottle and travel mug from ARB, 2 copies of Wild Deer and Hunting Adventures magazine, 2 copies of Blitz Australia Martial Arts magazine, a copy of 4x4 Australia magazine, a copy of Dirt Comp magazine, one of the new Oricom 5-watt handheld UHFs, a magnetic rifle rest from Eagle Eye Hunting, a Nava USB power cup, a Donaldson diesel fuel filter kit for added inline filtration and protection, a bottle of Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce, a pair of smart scissors from Kiesler Knives Australia, a stubby of Bundaberg ginger beer, a Toyota Land Cruiser Legend DVD from Terrain Tamer, a Berrima diesel cap, Superior Engineering cap, Superior Engineering stubby holder, a Carryboy cap, an emergency gear oil pack from 360 Gearboxes and Diffs, an emergency ration of Ocean Delight tuna and a pair of four-wheel drive TV small stickers. And it's all neatly wrapped up in an ARB carry bag.
Also like to thank Simon & Miranda and all the sponsors for the awesome day we've had and for the great gear. It's a great show and keep up the good things for us four-wheel drivers.
I think one of the highlights for a lot of people here would have been to go up and do the sunset drive here up to one of the sort of peaks up here in the Barrier Ranges. We'd originally planned to do that on the Saturday night, but it was a little bit overcast, so we decided to move it to the Sunday night, and we got some fantastic conditions. It's a great little drive up there. Actually, it's about a 40-minute drive up some fairly sort of steep, rocky sections along a well-marked trail, and the view you get from the top is just stunning. Behind you, you've got the Barrier Ranges rolling off into the distance, and then in front of you, you basically look out into the Mundi Plains that just sort of seem to go on forever. It's just a stunning place to sort of go up and have a few nibbles and just watch the sun go down. Definitely a big highlight for a lot of the people here at the ARB Eldee Easter event. I've actually been up to that spot a number of times over the years to watch the sunset, but I don't reckon I've seen so many vehicles up there at once. We had about 30 or 40 vehicles on top of the hill.
Hi, I'm Naomi Schmidt from Eldee Station. This event couldn't run without the generous support of our sponsors. We ended up with in excess of $20,000 worth of prizes, and every competitor left with something. I'd like to thank our major sponsors of the Eldee Easter event, and they are ARB, Eldee Station, oh that's us, and all three of Simon & Miranda's TV programs. Our gold stage sponsors were Kmart, Lightforce, DP Chip, HEMA, Donaldson, Tread 4x4, Voyager 4x4 Adventures, Benell Motors, 360 Gearbox and Diffs, ARB Penrith, The Hobbyman, RFI antennas and inner wires, and our minor sponsors were Exide, Travel Buddy Ovens, ICOM and Silver City 4-wheel drive. It was great to have so many families and competitors at the event. We had great atmosphere, everyone enjoyed themselves, and the prizes from the sponsors were the icing on the cake. We're already well into planning next year's event in 2014, and we already have people booking places. By the end of the event, we had 18 people paid up for next year's event, and by the time this goes to air, 3/4 of the spots will be filled. Please don't miss out in 2014 because spaces are limited, and we'd all love to see you here. Simon has promised us that the event will be bigger and better once again.
The Eldee Station event is purely based on people wanting to come up here and have some fun with their kids and their 4-wheel drives. We all have a huge passion for 4-wheel driving, and so the beauty about what Eldee offers you is a place and a destination to come to, magnificent event and a place that you should really be trying to put on your calendar for 2014.
Overall, it's been a great fun event. This weekend's been one of those family events. I've definitely booked myself in for next year. We've just had a great time here again. This is a great family event. So many people are getting on, all the kids had fun, there was a campfire every evening. Book it in, look forward to seeing you here next time.
I'm out here at Eldee Easter event with my wife Debbie, and we've had a fantastic time and really looking forward to coming back in 2014. If you haven't been here before, I'd recommend hop online, look at it and book in for next year. It's been a great weekend, certainly got all different kind of competitors here and would love to see you out here.
ARB is already committed to supporting the 2014 events, and I expect many of the other sponsors will do as well. And I've even hinted to Simon and Naomi that we might even be able to up the prize pool a little bit more next year. So we expect the 2014 ARB Eldee Easter event to be even bigger, better and more fun, if that's possible.
As we head towards the end of 2013, we have 3 great 4-wheel drive expos still on the calendar. The Sydney 4-wheel drive and adventure show will be held at Eastern Creek Raceway from the 18th to the 20th of October. The following weekend, the Adelaide 4-wheel drive and adventure show will entertain South Australians from October 25th to the 27th. And November 8th to the 10th, the Perth 4-wheel drive and adventure show will highlight all aspects of the outdoors lifestyle for local West Australians. For more information, please visit the event calendar at 4wheeldrivetv.com.au. Next week on 4-Wheel Drive TV, we've got highlights of the Australian off-road RC titles, tips on winching, more info on tyre pressures and plenty more. I'm Simon Christie. Tread lightly, keep it safe, play hard. I look forward to your company next week.